I was sipping my morning coffee when I stumbled upon a forwarded email, one that had been sent by mistake. Attached to it was a meticulously planned itinerary for my daughter Emily's wedding. I scanned the guest list, expecting to see my name, but it wasn't there. Not even as an afterthought. I wasn't just uninvited, I had been erased. For months, my wife Claire and Emily had been planning this event, their whispers falling silent the moment I entered a room, their conversations shifting as if I were a stranger intruding on their secrets. I had dismissed it as wedding stress, convinced myself that the tension in the house was nothing more than the usual chaos of a big event. My mistake. That evening, I confronted them. Claire sighed, rubbing her temples like I was exhausting her. Emily rolled her eyes. "Dad, it's just a wedding. You're overreacting." Overreacting. The word men hear when they're expected to shut up and accept whatever injustice is thrown their way. I had spent 24 years raising Emily, paying for her education, holding her when she cried, standing by her through every hardship. And yet, when the time came for her most important day, I was discarded like an inconvenience. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I simply booked a trip. 3 days before the wedding, I was sitting halfway across the world, watching the sun sink into the ocean, feeling the salt air on my skin. Then my phone started buzzing. Claire. Emily. Even her fiancé, Daniel. Call after call, message after message. I ignored them. Betrayal doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow erosion of trust, a steady drip until the foundation crumbles. Looking back, I saw the signs. The secret of phone calls, Claire's phone suddenly locked with a password, the hushed conversations with Emily that ended the second I stepped into the room. At first, I chalked it up to nerves, to wedding stress. But beneath it all, I recognized something colder, contempt, irritation. Like I was an outsider in my own home. The final crack? A bank statement. A 6-figure withdrawal. Money taken from my personal account. Money I had saved for Emily's future. Gone. I never confronted Claire about it. Never asked where it went. Instead, I let her believe I hadn't noticed. That was my first move. The wedding invitation never came. No courtesy call, no explanation. Just silence. That was their decision. Mine was to show them what it felt like to lose everything. On the balcony of my hotel, whiskey in hand, I listened to the waves crash against the shore as my phone vibrated across the table. Claire's name flashed on the screen. I let it ring. Then another call. Emily. Then Daniel. Finally, I answered. Dad, where are you? Emily's voice was frantic. On vacation. You need to come home. Why? Silence. A sharp inhale. Then Claire's voice in the background, frantic, desperate. Because everything's gone. They had no idea how much I had taken from them. People think revenge is about anger. It's not. Anger is messy, impulsive. Revenge is patience. Planning. Precision. I had spent months preparing. The first step, the bank accounts. Claire thought she was clever, moving my money into a separate account. What she didn't realize was that I had already transferred it back weeks ago. And then, quietly, I liquidated every joint asset we owned. The second step, the house. The moment Claire took that 6-figure withdrawal, I triggered a clause in our prenup. A clause she had forgotten about, one that granted me full ownership in the event of financial fraud. While she planned a wedding, I had been quietly selling my shares in the property. By the time she realized, it was too late. The final step, the wedding itself. It wasn't just any venue. It was an exclusive, members-only estate requiring full payment up front. Claire had signed the contract under my name, which meant, when I canceled it 3 days before the wedding, the venue kept the non-refundable deposit. 6 figures. Gone. So when Emily called me, she was standing in front of an empty wedding hall, surrounded by confused guests. No caterers. No flowers. No venue. The dream wedding they had so carefully orchestrated had crumbled to dust. And they had no one to blame but themselves. 2 days later, I returned home. Walked through the front door like I still owned the place. Because I did. Claire stood in the empty living room, the furniture repossessed, the lights cut off. Her face was hollow, her eyes red. Why? She whispered. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. You erased me first. A sob caught in her throat. I didn't think you'd. What? Fight back. I tilted my head. That was your mistake. Footsteps thundered down the stairs. Emily appeared, her eyes wild with disbelief. Dad, how could you? I turned to her. How could I? I let the question hang in the air. Emily, I gave you everything. Your school, your car, your life. And you didn't even have the decency to invite me to your wedding. Her mouth opened, but no words came. Actions have consequences, I said. You and your mother made your choice. Now you get to live with it. Claire moved out the next day. Emily followed soon after. The last I heard, she and Daniel had a rushed courthouse wedding. No dress. No flowers. No six-figure venue. Claire tried calling. Tried begging. I never answered. And me? I lived well. Because revenge isn't about anger. It's about balance. And I had simply restored what was mine.